Hey Cats fans, Ben Reef here again from the Hoop Show, and today I thought it'd be a good idea to play around a little bit with this tier maker site and have a forecast a little bit well ahead actually to 2023. Very early for this kind of thing, but I like to sort of see how things change over the next few months. My early predictions though, I'm gonna chuck it up here in 5 different categories. I'm gonna pick my first and second, or probably grand final teams, I think. And then I'll do my little bottom 2 that are teams that are really going to bottom out. And then you've got your middle ranked sides here as well, which can finish anywhere between 3rd on the ladder and 16. So, yeah, there's a bit of a difference there. But that's how I'm going to roll with this one. All right, so who shall we start with first? I reckon let's go with North. They've been in the news a little bit. Clarkson and a few other additions to the club. I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I don't think they'll finish in the bottom 2. I think they'll show some improvement this year. But I still would put them probably around the 13 to 16 mark there. So that's where I'm going with that. Gold Coast Suns. I'd like to be confident about them. I would, but I'm not. I think they're going to bottom. Look, this could be one of those teams that could make me look like an idiot, but I'm going to stick them down the bottom here. I might change my mind as I go through these. I reserve the right to change these orders as I go along, so don't come at me if I do switch things up or I'm inconsistent with my thinking. I'm going to have the West Coast Eagles. They tend to be a team that bounces back every other year. Maybe they have a couple of years down and then all of a sudden they're top 4 again, So I'll probably be a bit brave here, and I'm going to slot them somewhere. I'll get them missing the finals, but I'll put them somewhere in that group up there. That's where I'll go. Now the Hawks, I think they'll do okay. Hopefully they bottom out, but I think they'll probably won't be one of those bottom 2 teams. Unfortunately, they'll probably end up around here. I'm going to have St Kilda probably. Goodness me, I don't know whether to get him in the finals or not. Bit of turmoil in the off-season for the Saints. Ross Lyon's back, all that, but I don't know. I think maybe a year of development still, so I might put him in this middle tier here. Look, I think Melbourne will probably be back again. They've had a bit of an off year last year, but I reckon they'll bounce back okay. They've still got a pretty strong list, so I think they'll be one of those teams that may finish in the top 2 next year. So I'm going to put them right up the top there. I'm going to go. Should I do the Cats yet? No, I'll save the Cats a little bit longer. Brisbane Lions. Do I want to go them next? Yeah, I'll try and fit them in somewhere. Brisbane Lions. I don't think they're a top 2 team. Yeah, they've had a great off season and all the talk, but how often do you see a team that is the best performed team in the off season and it just doesn't come together for whatever reason the next year? So I'm going to not put them into my top 2, but I will put them in making the finals, of course. So they'll be in my second tier there. I'm probably going to chuck Collingwood in that second tier as well. I think they showed some really good signs last year. I don't think they'll take a step up. I think they probably overachieved in 2022. But I still think they'll be a final side next year. They might just drop back a little bit. Hopefully they're not taking things for granted too much. Now the Doggies, they're always a tough one for me. They could go well or they could finish reasonably high up. I'll probably have the Doggies. I'm going to change this as I go. I'm sure of it because I'm already finding it hard. I'm going to stick the Doggies in the finals just for now, but I can change that again. We'll wait and see on that one. Now the Adelaide Crows, goodness me. I'm going to chuck them in the bottom. I'm sorry, Crows. You're rubbish. You're a bit like the Eagles. Sometimes you bounce back and you come good again, but what I've seen lately, no good. So you're going down the bottom. See you later. You can join the Suns and you'll get another top draft pick and maybe just pick local kids from South Australia because you know they're going to leave you anyway, so don't worry about that. Who else? Richmond. I'm probably going to have Tigers. I don't know whether to have them in the top tier with Melbourne or the one underneath. Again, another team that people get a little bit carried away with their off-season signings. They were okay last year. They showed some signs, but they still got a few older blokes as well. So I still think I'm going to have the Tigers in this second tier here. I don't think they're going to be good enough to to make the finals again. I would probably have Port Adelaide in... Oh, where do I go with Port Adelaide? Oh, that's a tough one for me. Just goodness me, all these middle tier ones are really, really tough. Even though there's a bunch I can sort of squeeze them into, but it's tough. How do I get them all in? All right, I'll go Port Adelaide. All right. Sorry, Port. You're gonna bomb out a little bit. Oh, this is gonna look stupid in 8 months' time. I'm gonna stick you missing the finals horribly. It's all falling apart. Kenny Hinkley's gone by round 5, something like that. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Now I reckon. Could the Bombers finally make the jump into the finals? Could they do it? There's a lot of talk last year that they were just cherry ripe, ready to go. But is it this year? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be very, very brave, and I'm going to pick the Bombers to finish top 2 in 2023. So come at me on that one. Fair enough. Come at me on that. That's my bold prediction, even though it was a bold prediction by a lot of experts last year. But I think this is the year that they've probably figured out what went wrong, and maybe they'll put all the pieces together this time around, hopefully. Even though, again, they sacked their coach as well. So, but maybe this year's the year. You got to pick. It's hard to predict. No one would have had Cats winning the grand final last year, except me. But you got to predict these things. So anyway, if you trust me like you did, if you trusted me last year, well, trust me this year as well, because I won't steer you wrong. Look, I'll probably have the Swans. I'm going to have the Swans bombing out. Unfortunately, Swannies. I don't think you're going to make it. I think you're going to be shattered after that grand final, and it's going to do all things to your head. And you're just going to probably finish 9th or something like that. You're going to miss. Could be wrong, and I'll probably you could probably flip this tier thing, and it'll be the other way around. Melbourne will finish dead last, and the Suns will take out the premiership. We'll wait and see. But yeah, anyway. Look, am I brave enough to put Carlton in the finals mix? Do I do that or not? I've got 6 spots up here to fit people in. Can I get them in? I think I will. Yeah, I think I'll plonk them. I think I might get them to finish. I reckon. Maybe they'll finish top 4. Who knows? They could surprise. They're a team that, if they put it all together, they look great. But gee, they're a head case as well. They can really fall over themselves a little bit. So I'll stick them in there. The Giants, they're an easy one for me. I'm just gonna plonk them here. Everyone's leaving. It's no good. They're just another easy beat this year. I don't see them doing anything. I think Dockers will probably. So you could have them making the finals as well, but I think they're probably another team that's just going to disappoint a little bit. So I'm going to stick them in this middle tier as well. Look, any of these ones, you could almost flip them and it'll be different. So clearly that leaves the Catters in the top 8. I'm going to have them. I mean, this isn't in any particular order. I might order this a little bit. I reckon, you'll get Richmond probably finishing around 3rd. I think the Lions around about there's about right. Carlton, I can see finishing maybe around the 5th mark. Catters probably about 6. I think they'll still have a reasonably strong season, but 6 seems about right for me. Doggies will scrape in, and Pies to get that 7th spot. So it's another Cats Pies elimination final. That's what we're looking at, round 1 of the finals. That's casting it way ahead, a bit of a crystal ball. You got these middle tier teams: the Eagles, the Saints, the Swans, and Freo, just missing out on the finals. But a couple of disappointing results here from St Kilda and the Swans and Freo. Eagles will probably overperform, I'd say, and push a little bit up. And then you'll see some improvement from maybe a few of these teams here. A bit of a drop-off from Port, I think, and the Giants not really doing much. And sadly, the Suns in Adelaide, I wish it was a bit different. But but the big improver, I think, will be Essendon. I think Melbourne will bounce back after they had a really strong start last year, the first half, where they went on that streak. But I think they'll bounce back, and they might get 7 or 18 wins, and that might be enough for a top 2 spot. I think it'll be pretty even competition next year, I'm guessing. So I think you'll get it done with around about 17 or 18 wins, and Essendon similar, something like that. So could be a bit of a changing of the guard. We'll wait and see on that one. Anyway, that was my that's my thoughts. Early days, I must admit. What do you think? Am I near the mark? Am I completely way off? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Check out our Patreon page as well. The link's in the comments. Might be something you're interested in. We do post our gold edition footy cards in there, so if that's something you're keen to collect, by all means. We'll have some other special edition cards too coming up in the near future too, so some rookie selections and all that type of stuff. So if that's your jam. We're also dropping some early episodes of Behind the Play on our Patreon site as well, so if you're really keen on what Paul does with his one-on-one interview series, we've got some big stars coming on that show soon, so some very familiar names that you'll know about, and maybe some other people from the footy world that maybe you don't know about, but that'll be there, early release for Patreon subscribers as well. And we're nearly at 500 people. We've only got, I think 12 or 13 to go, so if you're watching this and if you watched it this far, surely you love it enough to join us, so hope you do. And if you're already a subscriber, why don't you tell someone else to jump on, because the more people we get on the show, the more we can do for Cats fans out there. Anyway, that's me done for another week. Take care and go Catters.